Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. But today it's 5 things learned from South Africa versus Australia, the second test last weekend. A very big victory for South Africa. Keep themselves in the hunt for the Rugby Championship. They are 1 point behind New Zealand as they go into a bit of a 2 week break before their first game against Argentina, which will be in Argentina, and then Argentina will then travel to South Africa to face the Springboks down in Durban. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to go through 5 major pickups or takeaways that I found from the game. If you have anything else, please put them in the comments. Let me know what you think as well. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. And yeah, without any doubt, let's go through them and sort of see what you guys have to say. So I think there is one sort of player who's we can all we can all agree has been just getting better and better and phenomenal for the Boks, and that has been Damian WILLEMSE. This year, we have seen the Damian WILLEMSE we've been waiting to see for a very long time. And I think what we saw, the fact that he's now played at inside centre, at fly half, and at fullback throughout the Springbok campaign, he's just a different level at the moment. He's playing with so much confidence. Everything he sort of touches seems to turn to gold. And whilst there's definitely a little bit of room for improvement, and whilst, for example, there's still a couple of question marks about where he will settle and where his best role is within the side, one thing that we do know is that he has to be in the side. He's a game changer at the end of the day, and he's really developing into an absolute world-class player, and an important cog in the Springbok setup. The fact that he managed to move from fullback to 10 with such ease this last weekend showed the level that he's currently operating with. Now, yes, there were a couple of red flags, mostly sort of with the goal kicking and stuff like that, whether he's still going to be able to do that, whether he's going to be a solid enough goal kicker to be able to settle in fly half for the Springboks. But with ball in hand and defensively, he has been second to none. And very good to see that he's finally sort of playing to the potential that we all know he had. Right, so a player who's under a lot of scrutiny going into the match yesterday. 2 try assists for Billy LaRue, and he had played a massive role in the first try as well. If you look at the fact that he jumped into scrum out very quickly after Jaden Henderson took that quick tap. He is not liked by many people, but at the end of the day, I don't think you can disagree that the Springbok attack is better for having Billy LaRue on the field. He finds space. He reads the game so well. And whilst he will make mistakes, he brings so much to the table that it's becoming very difficult to justify not having him in a 23. Now, whether he's going to be able to start every single game, depending on where David Williams is going to be and stuff like that, Billy LaRue still has a lot to offer. And I think that's what he did display quite a while against the Wallabies. The fact that he, is still got some time in those legs, he still has a lot to give to the Springboks. The question is for how much longer, and can he impart that knowledge to other people, or is he going to be a player that we're going to have to look at having to 23, because we have looked the best on attack when he's on the field. There's no doubt about that. The question is, what is his role moving forward? Is he a starter? Is he going to start at 15? Is he going to be in the 23? Is he going to come on in the second half? How can we get the best out of Billy LaRue over sort of the next sort of 12 to 14 months from now until the World Cup, and what sort of role will he play within the side? So whilst it was a much better performance and scoring 4 tries is a big improvement for the Boks, I think there's something that we can argue is that we've been all been wanting to see somebody come in and really help us with the attack. And the reason is that the nice thing about the game on this weekend is the fact that despite winning quite well, despite scoring 4 tries, there's still lots of room for improvement. We still need to be a lot more accurate when we come into our 22 and find point scoring opportunities easier. We're not converting our pressure as much as we could be. We could definitely have put 30, 40 points on Australia had we taken our chances. And not to say that we didn't always take our chances, because we did, and we did start seeing some much nicer tries. For example, I think the Franco Master try was beautiful rugby. Really nice offloads. A couple of players who just sort of came inside to create the space outside. So, overall, if you look at that attack and you sort of analyze that attack, it was just so well worked. But we need to see more of that. And the question is, can the current staff, do that, or do we need to look for something? And I personally would love to see somebody come in. I felt like we've never really replaced Swayze to Brain. And whilst the team decided that they felt they didn't need somebody else, I think, a consultant or somebody coming in for a little bit would still do a world of good in turning this side into maximizing their potential and becoming the side that we truly can be. So unfortunately, he's become a player where as soon as he's had an off game, people sort of sit there saying, oh, well, is he the best in his position, and should he be starting, etc. I have had basically no doubt about Siya Kolisi as his role in the side since that British and Irish Lions series. And the reason I say that is because he had a fantastic World Cup, but was playing some pretty average rugby domestically, coming into the British and Irish Lions series. But he turned it on like that. He turns it on when he puts his Springbok jersey on, and he's incredibly valuable to the side. And he very rarely has a bad game, to be honest. There's so much of the grunt work. But this past weekend, we saw him front and center, 3 turnovers, very important offloads. His work rate was second to none. I personally don't understand how he could not have won the man of the match. I mean, as much as I thought David Evans played well, I don't think Siya Kolisi made a single mistake throughout the entire match. I think he captained well, and he played phenomenally, and it was one of the great Siya Kolisi performances, arguably his best performance ever in a Springbok jersey. He's only getting better with age at this rate, and I think that he's very, very comfortable and very comfortably within the top loose forwards in the world, let alone within the country. So something that we thought would probably come eventually, but definitely didn't think it would come this quickly, is I think Jaden Hendricks has basically secured his spot in the number 9 jersey. Faf de Klerk's blown hot and cold, and has injuries this year, but Jaden Hendricks has come into the box setup and has just looked so good. And there's definitely aspects of his game he has to improve, and he's 22 years old, so he's got time to improve that. But I think that what we are seeing is that he suits the Bok game plan. He suits international rugby, and he's taken to international rugby like a duck to water, and never really looked back. And I think that it's telling of a player who's got so much talent that they believed in him and they said, we're going to back you, we'll back you. And if you continue to reward us, we'll continue to back you. And I think that he's going to become a very difficult player to remove. In fact, he's going to have to go back to the Premiership, or in Japan rather, and play some really good rugby to get himself back into the top form. And I think that now he probably might even be regretting going to the Japan route, because he was the incumbent Springbok scrum half, and nobody was really pushing him. And now he's lost his place, and he's going to a league where where it's difficult to sort of monitor exactly how he's playing. So a very big 12 months ahead for Faf de Klerk if he wants to get himself into the 23 and remain a central part of the Springbok system, because he was dropped for this game, went on to win, and all of a sudden his spot in the Springbok 23 is not looking as guaranteed as it probably was a year ago. So those are my 5 takeaways from the game. Let me know if you had any others down in the comments below. As I said, please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.